For 7 years, the #1 plate has stayed right here in the hands of Caleb Russell. But the tables have turned this season as Caleb announced his retirement, giving the competition one last chance to dethrone him. Thad Duvall, Stu Baylor, Josh Strang, and rookie Ben Kelly are hungry for the top spot. Will Caleb be able to win again in his final professional season? The chase for the Grand National Cross Country Championship begins next.
Are you ready to go GNCC Racing?
Here we are in Union, South Carolina for the VP Racing Fuels Big Buck GNCC presented by Specialized. Our riders now prepare their focus on what they hope to be a strong start to the 2020 season and a new look for some of our riders, including this guy, Lane Michael, joining the AmPro Yamaha racing team, and Ricky Russell joining the Coastal Racing team aboard the Husqvarna. And hard not to talk about another rider on everyone's mind, Ben Kelly. Will he continue his path of success? Of course, Thad Duvall knows this is his last opportunity to win a championship against rival Caleb Russell. We take a look now at the results of last season. Caleb winning his 7th national championship. As we all know, 2020 is his farewell tour. Will he cap off a legendary career with an 8th title? Well, we had a chance to get his thoughts on his final season.
It's definitely a sense of relief, like I said, knowing that there's an end in sight, and that, you know, even if I race in 2021, it's a couple GNCCs, which probably won't happen. You know, it won't be with the same intent and the same intentions of, you know, knowing that there's a championship on the line, but or that I've got to repeat it next year or do the same thing. But yeah, it's different. It's for sure different when there's an actual set ending and you know it's coming, and your attitude and the way your outlook becomes on certain things. But it's been a great career, and like I said, I'm really focused for this year and want to do my best, and want to reach a lot of goals that I've set forth for myself, you know, in the past years. I want to try to accomplish some of those that have eluded me, and we'll see where we stand at the end of the year, but we're ready to go.
Well, one rider who is sure to be standing in the way of those goals is Stu Baylor on his new Factory One Sherco ride.
We're here to win. The mechanics are here to win. I think the team's here to win, and I think we're just as set on winning as anybody else out here. I know I definitely am. So, you know, with that being said, I think we've got everything in place. It's just going to be the steps that we know that we're going to have to take, the little things that we're going to have to improve on throughout the season. You know, GNCC, like I said, is a totally different beast than anything else. So it's going to be a learning curve. I know it's going to be a learning curve, but sure would be nice to start out with a good start and a podium at least. But, you know, like I said, we want to win. We all want to win.
The rider and team expectations certainly set high as a new decade of GNCC is about to begin. Just 3 hours on a 13-mile course through Union, South Carolina separate us from a checkered flag. Who's going to take the win here today as we are set to go with row number 1, the XC1 Pro class? And of course, the whole shot up for grabs, courtesy of All Balls Racing. Who is going to snag the first one of the year? Caleb Russell out in front early. He does snag it. Thad Duvall in the number 2 spot. And Ricky Russell 3rd, Lane Michael 4th, and Andrew DeLong 5th right there off the whole shot. How about it? Pro riders making their way into the woods section now. We'll see how things are shaping up. It is still Caleb Russell out in front, followed by Thad Duvall and a slew of XC1 riders in single file as they make their way onto this course here in Union, South Carolina, and we make our way back to the starting line for the start of the XC2 250 Pro class. Whole shot on the line here as well, courtesy of Hot Cams. Who's going to take it? Of course, no Ben Kelly moves up into the XC1 class. Who's going to take the first one of the year? It's Tegan Temple taking it away from Mike Wachowski, who's in the number 2 spot aboard his new ride on the AmPro Yamaha. And these two riders battling early into the woods. Looks like Mike Wachowski works his way out in front. Maybe Tegan Temple got around him right there, but and how about that? Some different line choices from the XC2 class compared to the XC1 just a moment ago. And we make our way back down to the start line again for the start of the FMF XC3, the 125 class, and listen to them sing. Nothing quite like that sound in the world right there. Who's gonna take that hole shot? It is gonna be Jason Rains taking it. Second place right there into the hole shot was a 722 of Zach Hayes, followed by Dominic Morris. And into the woods section looks to remain the same. Jason Liscombe there on the number 707 KTM in the number 4 spot as they make their way into this big buck GNCC. Well underway now here in Union, South Carolina. We'll be back with more racing action here in just a second.
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Get ready. And by Yamaha. Revs your heart.
Welcome back to the VP Racing Fuels Big Buck GNCC as we look at our leaders on screen. Caleb Russell still out in front after a great start, followed closely there by Thad Duvall in second. Ricky Russell on the Coastal Racing Husqvarna in third. Jordan Ashburn in fourth with Lane Michael in fifth place. And Phoenix Racing Honda's Andrew DeLong in the number 6 spot. Josh Strang there in seventh with the rookie behind him, Ben Kelly. And Stu Baylor on the Factory One Sherco ride in the number 9 position. Taking a look now, Caleb Russell back on screen, and it looks like he's got a bit of a gap now. Sure enough, he does. A little bit of a gap now between Caleb Russell and the rest of the pack. And how about this? Ricky Russell up into the number 2 spot. Where is Thad Duvall? Jordan Ashburn third, Lane Michael fourth. Andrew DeLong in that number 5 spot. Josh Strang in sixth, and still no signs of the 989 Rockstar Energy Husqvarna of Thad Duvall. Stu Baylor right there, patiently working his way through this big buck GNCC. And you gotta wonder, where is Thad Duvall? Caleb Russell making quick work of the creek jump, as well as Ricky Russell into the number 2 spot. Ricky looks like he's closed that gap a little bit now in that number 2 spot. We'll see if he can catch up to Caleb Russell before this one's said and done. Lane Michael, great start for him in the number 3 position. New team for him as well on the AmPro Yamaha team in third. Fourth place, Jordan Ashburn, followed by Andrew DeLong and Josh Strang in the number 6 spot. And how about it? Your top 6 riders right there, kind of pulling away a little bit. Caleb Russell and Ricky Russell now back on screen. Ricky Russell trying to key off of Caleb as they enter the 10-mile marker. And we'll see if Ricky Russell can catch up to him before it's said and done. But boy, how about the start for the Coastal Racing Husqvarna of Ricky Russell? The ups and downs he had just a year ago, battling injury. It's good to see him up here battling for the lead with Caleb Russell right now. Both of these riders, I mean, just about as flawless as you can get in a GNCC, and no signs of third place, no signs of fourth place. These two guys have checked out right now and said, it's me and you, buddy, mano y mano. Let's see how this thing works out. Caleb Russell back on screen there. There gives you a good idea, that long shot right there of the distance between those two riders. 2 different line choices right there. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference for Ricky Russell, but these guys hard on the throttle. That would be Lane Michael, third place rider right there. Looks like he's put on a little bit of a gap between him and fourth place rider Jordan Ashburn. And again, still no signs of Thad Duvall as we wait to see who checks in the number 5 spot. Still, the Phoenix Racing Honda ride of Andrew DeLong in 5th, and 6th place Josh Strang. So these guys all kind of looking identical. The battle between 1st and 2nd, the battle between 3rd and 4th, and that battle between 5th and 6th, almost identical. Just those gaps in between every other rider there. So Ricky Russell still in second, still trying to close that gap between him and Caleb. And we'll see if Lane Michael is still in that number 3 spot. No, it's Jordan Ashburn into the number 3 spot. So Jordan Ashburn takes that position away from Lane Michael. Does Lane Michael fall back into 4th? No, it's Josh Strang. The Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Team Green Kawasaki teammates now battling each other for that 3rd place position. Caleb Russell back on screen here, followed by Ricky Russell in 2nd. The battle's on here at the Big Buck GNCC. We'll have more coverage in just a second. GNCC, without a doubt, a family race. Mr. Tim Cotter right there talking to the students and faculty at one of the local schools, kind of giving them a glimpse into what it's like in the GNCC Racing Nation, and certainly have a little fun as well with the youth riders and some of our adult riders right there. Just a great program. Every city we visit, we do a little bit of this for the community. So good stuff. Getting back into the racing action, that's not what you want to see if you're an Andrew DeLong fan there with the Phoenix Honda Racing Team and Rockstar Energy Husqvarna rider Thad Duvall, DNF for him, and Ben Kelly, a DNF for him as well. Both riders suffering injuries or re-injuries, and that is a heartbreaker. You've got to think that these guys both had huge expectations, as did their teams, as did fans, and now we're left to wait and wonder how long is it going to be before we see them racing with these guys. Ricky Russell on screen in the number 2 spot. Caleb's still out in front in 1st, and there is Josh Strang in the number 3 position, trying to throw his name in the hat for that number 2 spot. Not sure he's going to be able to get it before this one's said and done. Caleb working his way around a couple lappers right there, and the number 2 rider, or the number 2-1-2 rider in 2nd place, Ricky Russell, doing the same, and he's probably thinking, man, I hope Caleb's got to battle some lappers up there in the front, because right now I could use any break I could get to try and catch up to that pace that Caleb Russell is riding. Incredible. 7-time GNCC champ. We've seen him do this so many times before, and here today in the season opener, no different. As he makes his way up the hill, what seems like effortlessly, making it look easy. And Ricky Russell works his way around another lapper, and these guys do a great job. They are running their race as well, but they hear those guys coming. Now, granted, sometimes they're coming so fast that it does alter the results of a race. It can be the difference in a couple of positions. It could be the difference in a race win. But I think generally speaking, these guys do a pretty good job, and certainly hats off to the pro riders being able to get around some of the amateur classes. Josh Strang back on screen right there in the number 3 position. Great riding out of him today on the Babbitt's Online Monster Energy Team Green Kawasaki. And there he is. He's going to be making his way up to the hill here in just a moment. As he makes his way up, no lappers around him, but look at this, Stu Baylor right behind him. One lapper in between them, between the 4th and 3rd place position. Oh, and Stu Baylor almost loses it. Man, just ducks in behind that tree. We got to think he's kept it on 2 wheels, but wow, that was some incredible riding out of Stu Baylor. Can he hang on and maybe take away that number 3 spot from Josh Strang? He's certainly got the time for it. That was one of the things we talked about early on, was Stu Baylor. He was back in 9th place early on, and we said he is not going to stay there. Before this is said and done, he's going to make his way up the pack. He's doing that now. Can he catch up with Josh Strang? Ricky Russell right there, still in the number 2 spot, working his way around. And here's Josh Strang. Let's see how far behind now Stu Baylor is from Strang. Makes his way to the top. Camera pans. There's Stu Baylor. Boy, he is certainly making up time here. Can Stu catch Josh Strang for the number 3 spot? Can Caleb Russell put a stamp on round number 1?
Coverage of the 2020 Grand National Cross Country Series on MAVTV is brought to you in part by Specialized Turbo e-bikes. It's you, only faster. Rocky Mountain ATV MC, get ready. And by YAMAHA, revs your heart.
Boy, what a beautiful shot by the Yamaha Racing Skycam. I tell you, we really get to race in some beautiful landscapes throughout the eastern states. Caleb Russell on screen right there as we jump back into the action. Caleb looking to go green flag to checkered flag. Just would not be denied today. I mean, about as flawless of a GNCC ride as you could ask out of a guy. Caleb Russell, what a performance here today. Ricky Russell there in the number 2 spot as he passes the 10-mile marker. And Ricky's got to feel confident about this ride here today. Battled with Caleb early on, never was able to make the pass, but some great riding out of him today. He can certainly hold his head high. And Josh Strang, he took that number 3 spot away early from Lane Michael. And here we go, Stu Baylor in the number 4 spot. Little bit of distance, more distance than we saw earlier between these guys now, but still plenty of time. We'll see. Strang gets a little squirrely there, able to keep it on 2 wheels. Stu Baylor makes easy work of it. We'll see if those guys can sort it out. Who's going to take that final podium position? Right now, the advantage to Josh Strang as Caleb Russell now back on screen. Making one last turn here. Fist bump in the air, and the FMF KTM Factory Racing's Caleb Russell takes win number 61 here at the VP Racing Fuels Big Buck GNCC.
Yeah, there's no way I was gonna lose my first race ever. So I put the hammer down and got the whole shot, led wire to wire, felt really good. I came in really prepared. I was, been dialed in the last 7 weeks and just training hard, working hard. Finally coming into the season 100% healthy and ready to go. And I feel like I'm back on 2015 form where, the race comes to me easy. I, felt really good at the beginning and really solid. And I just kept a pace and that I thought would wear those guys down. And I just held that pace through the whole race, basically. So I didn't try to manipulate it and hang back and wait for the end. I just went straight from the get-go, just a really solid pace that I knew would be tough to hang on to, and was able to pull it in.
Well, soak up every second of this farewell tour, my friends. Who knows how long it's going to be before we see a rider of the same caliber as Caleb Russell. What an incredible stamp on this season opener for him. Ricky Russell now making his way into the checkered flag, and again, he's got to feel very confident about this second place finish here today.
Yeah, no doubt. I got an awesome start. Our top 3. Actually, then I got behind Caleb pretty soon. Thad had a big spill in front of me, unfortunately. I hope he's okay. I heard he might have hurt his knee again. That was no fun. But anyways, just caught back up to Caleb after that, and we were just kind of going and picking smooth lines, and I didn't feel like I was overriding or doing anything crazy, and bike felt good. I was just able to kind of cruise there, and then I kind of forgot we didn't know our mileage at the top because we haven't raced this bike yet, and we pit early, 2 laps in, and I lost sight of Caleb for a little bit, and I was trying to give a good push to get back to him because I knew he had to pit that lap, and then fortunately I had 1 lap with 2 big spills within 1 mile, hit my head pretty hard, and I was just like, okay, cool down, man, just ride your own race. You got a good gap on 3rd, and just try to pick off laps and hopefully come in for the podium, and that's what we did. So super stoked. The bike, I had a super stressful day yesterday. We had a couple little minor issues, and team worked their butts off all night, all morning to get the bike ready to go. I think Timmy and Barry for making it happen and making, obviously the bike worked awesome and able to come away with 2nd.
I gotta believe we're gonna be seeing a lot more of Ricky Russell on the GNCC podium this season. We turn our attention back down to the race now. Josh Strang in the number 3 spot again. Looks like there's a little bit of distance now between him and Stu. We'll see. Yeah, here you go. Josh Strang's gonna hang on for that number 3 spot. You see just on the left side of your screen there as Stu Baylor enters, 1 lapper to get around, but it's gonna be Strang hanging on, keeping her on 2 wheels to take the 3rd place position. And right there, that's how close they were. Stu Baylor in 4th.
Yeah, this is compared to the last few years, this is the perfect start for me. So finish on the box, not too bad. So the start of the race, I kind of just settled in behind a couple of guys where I probably should have tried to make a couple of passes earlier. Maybe I could have stayed a little closer to, I guess, Caleb and Ricky, the two Russells. So, but no, overall, man, I had a good day. The track is probably the best, one of the best big buck dirt-wise we've had in, man, I think we worked out on the weekend. This is my 14th season, so I've been at it nearly as long as you. So the dirt here was good. This place always gets rough, and it was rough today. A lot of people turned up, which is good for GNCC. You know, there's heaps of people coming racing. We all get to keep our jobs and that, and I had a blast actually. I just tried to enjoy the race. There was some people on the side of the track I was yelling at and having some fun with, and when the lappers would get out of the way, I'd give them a cooey, say thanks, and overall, I mean, it was good. So I had a fun day, and it's good to start with the third place, man. I see Thad crashed early, so there's a couple other guys out, but I think I have a speed. I just need to put the start of the race together, and I can be up there every weekend, I reckon.
Well, there you have it, folks. Your top 10 from today's VP Racing Fuels Big Buck GNCC. Caleb Russell taking the win here today. What a race. We look at a specialized race recap now. Your XC1 class, that guy right there, the number 1, Caleb Russell, taking the whole shot, leading early. And in the number 2 spot, it was Thad Duvall, who we know went down with the injury. We had a bit of a battle between Ricky Russell and Caleb Russell early on, but as the 3 hours wore on, Caleb pulled away, leading by as much as a minute 30 here today. A look in there, Andrew DeLong, Phoenix Racing Honda team, working on the bike. As we saw earlier, Thad Duvall had to leave, a DNF for him and a DNF for Ben Kelly as well. An absolute heartbreaker. How long is it going to be before we see these guys back out racing the GNCC? Hard to tell. When it all came to an end, your top 3, Caleb Russell, first place, Ricky Russell, second, and Josh Strang keeping Stu Baylor at bay to hang on to that final podium position. Congratulations to Caleb Russell, his 61st career win in this farewell tour here in 2020 at the GNCC. Also, a big congratulations to Mike Wachowski taking a win in the XC2 250 Pro class. Well, that, my friends, is going to do it for us here at RacerTV. I'm Mikey Waynes. Thanks for watching.